Hey, this is ASpengler and this is episode 13 of building the Outskirts of Saint Lô in Lego. Last week I worked on filling in the final little gaps that were on this half of the build, so this was just kind of a hole, there's nothing there, so I filled that in, plus a few other areas along this strip right here. And there was not the back of these hedgerows, so I put in this area and up to that area plus the one on the far end. Then after filling in those gaps, getting the back of the hedgerows on, I put the road detailing in for this strip here, and a little bit here and over there. And so that's mainly what happened last segment. This segment, I'm thinking that we will get all the hedgerows done, try to put some trees on along this area, and so yeah, get the hedgerows on. After that, I'm thinking about doing the outlines of the buildings, and I'm thinking we get to that point, see if we have any more time, and then we might continue working on the city area. So main goal is to try to finish up the hedgerows for everything. The fields will all have to wait. There's a little bit of a field back there, and the field over there isn't finished. The main field still doesn't have any work on it. I still have to order parts for those, so I probably should order parts this segment. And yeah, so get the hedgerows done and then start working on the city area with the outlines. And just another thing that I've been doing throughout this week before I recorded this intro, I was doing some painting of my German vest. So we've got 5 of the MP40 pouch, 5 of the Grenadier, so basically Car 98 pouches, and then a few of the grenades, and then 5 of the basic just Car 98 pouch rifleman vests. And so these all turned out pretty good. The only bad thing was it's been a while since I used the gunmetal, so for these ones, the ones I did first, you can't really tell where the gunmetal is. This is the one that I did afterwards. You can clearly tell where his belt buckle is. On this one, the gunmetal turned out a really dark gunmetal color, basically black. So these 5 might have to be reworked eventually, but for now, since I'm pretty short on time, I'll probably just leave them like this. But yeah, these ones turned out really good. The gunmetal went back to its normal. Another thing I also did was just paint a few M1 Grands. I'm hoping to get all my German vests painted, and I still have a few American vests, just so all my infantry will look better. I'm pretty good on guns at the moment, so I'll probably hold off on the painting more guns, but I definitely want to get more vests painted just so I can have all my minifigures ready for the placement of them in the mock. So minifigures are an important thing, so you'll see me continually working on stuff like that. Also, something that's coming up besides Outskirts of Saint Lô is once I get all the vest painted, I'm planning on doing some more army videos. So the main reason, some of you probably might recognize that this is about the time that I do an army video. The main reason I'm waiting is just because I want to get all my Germans with painted vests on, just so it will look a little bit better, and it's not as similar as the last army video. I don't want them just to be basically the same thing. I want to have at least the vests be a difference. And so with that, there's some painting. I'll probably continue to do the painting, and I'll stop talking and go ahead and get working on these hedgerows. Okay, coming back after doing some hedgerow work. As you saw in the time lapse, I got the big section of work that needed to get done finished. Before the time lapse, I did this smaller section here, and then after the time lapse was done, I went to work on the last one, and I ended up running out of brown 1x1 studs, and that's kind of what I've been using to stick all the leaves down, so I wasn't able to finish the hedgerows completely. I also didn't get the little detail I put on the dark green leaves just because I ran out last segment. So those are two things I'll have to order some more of. Just a few other things that I worked on. I had this a previous design pretty much based off of the Brickmania's pack 38, and I decided to. I didn't think it really looked super accurate to the actual one, so I pulled up some pictures, pulled out a few pieces, and then edited the one I had previously, and this is how it kind of turned out. And I think it looks a lot more realistic or accurate to the actual pack 38. And so that's one little thing I did. Just mainly the reason behind that is because this is partly a blown out hedgerow, or at least the edge of a hedgerow. And the plan is going to be to have a hidden emplacement right there. We'll probably put some of the leaves propped up just so you can't really see the pack gun. I potentially will make a camouflage one, not just a plain gray one, but for now I was just kind of getting a more accurate design, or for as far as realistic and looking more accurate to the actual thing. So at least that's one thing I was planning on doing, and yeah, that's where it's going to be, a little pack emplacement. Another thing I did was start on a kind of prototype to what the brick or the houses are gonna kind of look like on the siding, and I chose to do the brick siding again, mainly just because I assumed most of well, I kind of looked at some pictures of French buildings around the Normandy region, and the majority of them are brick, and so I decided to use a brick technique. This is kind of what I used on, if you remember back to my Metz mock, except back then I didn't have it so tightly packed, and I think it looks a lot better and more realistic when it's this tightly. This is about as tight as you can get it, and yeah, with the Lego pieces and stuff. So this is probably how it's gonna look, and it just basically uses these 1x1 bricks with the modified stud on the side. And I was looking at prices on bricks, and these are they go for about 2 to 3 cents a piece, so they're not very expensive. And the only thing I'll really have to order is a lot more tiles, and just a lot of them. I was also looking, because you kind of have to, you alternate one of those bricks and then a plain brick, but then I was looking at the prices of the plain bricks, and they're like 9 cents a piece. So I was thinking I might just order a ton of these ones, and then I'll just rotate them on the back side, and this will kind of be the interior. So we've got them on this side and them on this side, and they kind of I just rotate which direction they are, and so they'll save a little bit of money just because of how expensive plain 1x1 light gray bricks are. And I guess we'll make it makes it a little bit stronger with these pieces on the inside, and it will give it a nice wall interior. So that's kind of the plan for the buildings, or just a quick prototype of that. And as far as the bricks, I'll have this dark red. I have the sand green. I'm planning on getting some orangish. There's a lot of orange colors, but it's a certain kind of orange brick, not too like bright orange, but kind of the somewhat darker orange, to add to a brick. Maybe a few other colors, just so we have a little bit of variety. The dark red is going to be the main color that I'll be using. And then of course I'll have to get quite a few more brown plates, just because I'll use them on the siding and as flooring. And I'll probably get a few more of these foundation bricks because I'll use those as foundations and around windows and stuff. So that's it, a little prototype like I said. And next, as I said, we're gonna go around and kind of lay the outlines for the buildings, just because there's not much else I can do as far as hedgerow work otherwise, unless I'm doing like little details here and there. But I might just save that for now, and we can start working on the city itself, which is something that has really needed to get some work on lately. So with that, I'll go ahead, stop talking, and continue working. Okay guys, coming back for the last bit in this segment. As I said, I was gonna plan out kind of the outlines for the buildings, and while I was at that, I filled in all the artillery craters with just some brown plates and slopes and stuff to kind of give it the basic filled in view. There's going to be more added. I just wanted to at least get them filled in. So here it is. There's all the holes. And another thing to know, now the entire thing is covered up from pretty much the foundation stuff, except for maybe a few little black foundational marks. But other than that, it's pretty much all covered up now because all the holes are filled in. And yeah, so these aren't completely finished yet. There's still going to be stuff, more little details added inside them. And yeah, I'm also going to extend the brown around it. It's just I'm running really low on brown plates, so that's another thing I'll have to order quite a few of. But yeah, other than the crater holes, we have just some building outlines. Got two over here. The 2x4s just representing the chimney. The other parts are the foundation of the house. So as you can see, there's a lot of, like, this building's got two big artillery craters inside of it, so that one's gonna be pretty destroyed. This one's gonna be like half destroyed. This one's gonna be pretty damaged. These two also, these three are pretty much gonna be destroyed. These two are gonna be pretty bad, or this one's gonna be pretty bad. This one's about half destroyed, and these two are also another like half. And this one's kind of iffy because I want to make sure there's room for the anti-tank gun emplacement there, but this one's going to be pretty much destroyed as well. And yeah, so that's kind of it. I just made sure there was enough marked out spaces for the buildings. It kind of helps out with the planning going ahead. And yeah, it helps with taking into account how many pieces for how many buildings I'll need to order, and just it helps me visualize what the town layout's going to be later on. So yes, a lot of this does depend on the artillery crater, so that's why I filled those in. It's going to be important that I get the brown plates so I can extend because the crater's not going to be this contained. It's going to pour out quite a bit more, so there's going to be quite a bit of land disruption and stuff. So that's going to be a lot of work for once parts come in. And so you've probably been hearing me talk about how I need a lot of parts, and that's pretty much true. So the next bit of work for next segment, it's really going to depend on what parts come in from the orders I'm going to make, and then we'll kind of go from there. So yeah, a lot of these depend on certain parts that I don't really have at the moment, so there's going to be quite a few orders coming in. Hopefully they come in fast because we don't have a ton of time left. But here is the build so far. It's looking pretty good. Hope you guys enjoyed this segment. If you like what you saw, please like, comment, subscribe. Thank you guys for watching, and I hope to see you guys in the next video.